Hey, this is a probiotic prebiotic 101. We'll talk about what they are and why you should care, and then how to best eat them. So, I'm super excited that you've had questions about probiotics and prebiotics because that means that you are taking an interest in your health. Those types of foods help to create a healthy microbiome, a healthy gut. And we need a healthy gut. It is the foundation of good health. And our gut's always changing. It's got trillions of microorganisms or bacteria that really help us to stay healthy. If we have a diverse and healthy microbiome, a healthy gut, it means that we've got a microbiome that can help to protect us. A healthy gut means a healthy body. So when we have good gut, a good healthy gut, it helps to protect us from diseases. And it also helps to create those feel good hormones. Like you are what you eat, literally. And so it's truly the foundation. And so we want to be thinking about eating and drinking both probiotics and prebiotics. So they're really simple to understand. Probiotics are live organisms. They're these live ingredients or organisms that help to feed our gut and help them to make the good bacteria. And most of these probiotic foods are fermented in nature. So they've got a fermented type of quality to them. So the list of probiotic foods typically include kombucha, kimchi, kefir, live cultured yogurt, Greek yogurts, apple cider vinegar, and a few others on that list, but they're fermented in nature. Prebiotics aren't live, but they're the food that feeds the probiotics. And we need a combination of both. Both are good for us. Prebiotic foods are typically foods that are high in fiber. So hopefully you're already incorporating these into your diet. Think of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes. So it's not something different you need to be doing in your diet. Just keep eating whole foods and fruits and vegetables, and you're all set. So they're working hand in hand. And sometimes I think it's hard for people to think about, oh, I've got to add these types of foods in my diet. Well, not really. I think if you use a strategy that I came up with and thinking, how can you think about stirring, sprinkling, and sipping? So, how can you add it? And by the way, with these foods, you don't need a tremendous quantity. A little goes a long way. So, a dollop of yogurt in your smoothie, or swapping in kefir or a dollar or a little add of that into your smoothie can make a big difference. So you don't need to worry about eating a whole bunch of these. We do want to try to be consistent and have between 2 and 3 servings a day. But just think about adding it in, sprinkling it on. Some of the prebiotic foods are things you're probably already doing. Do you use garlic in recipes or do you cook with onion? There's also some other things that maybe you're not thinking about. Maybe have a cup of dandelion green tea or use some chicory root. So there's some other things on the high prebiotic foods that maybe you can experiment with, but let's keep it simple. Maybe take a sip of kombucha after a meal or add a little apple cider vinegar into your dressing. So you're likely already doing some of these basics and working to eat healthy. Just keep doing it. Now, I've had a few people ask me about sodas with prebiotics or supplements. The strategy that's the healthiest is to think about food first. And you got to understand the reason that you're even thinking about some of these supplements or foods is because they more and more keep coming on the market because this research on the gut microbiome is kind of new in the science scheme of things. Specific strains of bacteria have just recently been named in the past few years. So as this research comes to light, you'll continue to see more and more products, but keep the basics in mind. Food first. And I would just, if you're thinking about a supplement, I would just if you're that curious about it, I mean, supplements, there's so many of them for probiotic and prebiotics, and there's not a lot of research that supports the mechanisms of action and direct benefit of those. And it's confusing. Most of these supplements, if you'll see, have really long names of strains of bacteria. It's almost like prescription. It actually is like a prescription. You'd have to be thinking about, what problem do I want to solve? What ailment do I want to address? IBS, mental health, weight. And again, most of these are truly unproven. So you're going to go spend money on a supplement. And there are so many out there. Again, just think about food first and sticking with the basics. Probably can't hurt you to think about a supplement. That's a whole separate recording, but not, in my opinion, completely necessary if you're really focused on diet first. Same with drinks. Yes, a prebiotic type of soda is probably better than a regular soda, but I think you're paying because it says prebiotic on there. And too much of that could upset your stomach. And we also have to go back to the basics too and make sure that in that drink is there added sugar. And we want to stay away from drinking added sugar. Not good. So hopefully this has covered some of the basics for you. Stick with eating diversity in your diet. The gut loves diversity. So even if you are eating healthy, maybe consider up-leveling your game a little bit and trying different probiotic rich foods, prebiotic rich foods, and doing that on an ongoing basis. Stay consistent with it and just think about easy ways to stir, sprinkle, or sip. Hope this was helpful and have a great day.